I want to welcome somebody who I'd already given a hint to that his workers are noticing this transition. I want to welcome the chairman and CEO of MGM Resorts International, Jim Murren, to the stage. He will speak about his company's vision for the Institute and, more importantly, the role of the private sector in the future of work. Jim?
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. You doing okay out there? Doing all right? It's Bellagio. What could be wrong? I want to also lend my welcome to all of you from traveling around the country, in some cases the world, to be here. This is an important day for us because it is the first time we've met as a public policy institute. And so first I want to thank a few folks that have made this all happen. And I'm going to begin with the president of UNLV, Marta Miano, who's standing right there. Marta, thank you very much. We have the executive vice president and the provost, Diane Chase, here, so thank you, Diane. Dean Robert Ulmer, so Dean, thank you very much. We also have the executive director of the Institute, Benoit Jacobs. Benoit, I think I saw you over here. Thank you. And of course, Tom Riley, who is the chancellor of the Nevada System of Higher Education. So Tom, thank you very much for being here as well. We couldn't do this without UNLV and the higher school system here in Nevada. Of course, I'm also deeply grateful to Senator Reid and Speaker Boehner. Their leadership has been pivotal in this effort. It's been an honor to work with Speaker Boehner and Senator Reid. And I also, of course, want to thank Chuck Todd for being here. So a round of applause for those three. Thank you. Then you get to hear from Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who promised not to use any colorful language, but will speak to a really remarkable success story in the great city of Chicago. And I also want to thank all of the other prestigious speakers and panelists. You really represent America, a very diverse set of views from the public, the private sector, across all spectrums. And really isn't that the point of today, to think about these weighty issues on a bipartisan fashion and to get some stuff done. And that is actually the founding vision for the Institute. We believe partnership across sectors and party lines results in the best opportunities to equip America's workers and to provide them with the skills they need to succeed in today's fast-growing economy. This is a vision that was born from our experience at MGM. I've seen firsthand progress that's possible when we collaborate with governments, schools, nonprofits, and communities across the country. Together with these partners, we've had some great success. We've empowered workers for the 21st century, provided skills that they need, created sustainable jobs, and in many cases, literally revitalized American communities. I'll give you a couple examples. In Prince George's County, Maryland, we partnered with a local community college for years to train people to work at MGM National Harbor years before we opened. We created over 100 different kinds of jobs, and today that property on the banks of the Potomac employs thousands of workers with over 100 different kinds of jobs, from finance to food and beverage to hotel, technology, and the like. Further north, more recently, in Springfield, Massachusetts, I was proud to partner with a local nonprofit, Veterans Assembled Electronics. They helped us train and certify disabled veterans to work as technicians in our resort. We employ thousands of Springfield residents today in the property that's but 6 months old. And many years ago, in the great city of Detroit, we partnered with that city and made commitments with local agencies to identify, recruit, and hire Detroit residents. And I'm proud to say that over half of the employees of that property, over 55%, over 1,500 people that work there for the last 20 years are from the city of Detroit. And I can go on this, but these are some examples of what I represent and MGM represents in America's economy. Gaming. We are a pillar of the U.S. economy. Our industry hosts 1.8 million jobs in the United States. That's about $74 billion in labor income nationwide. MGM, for its part, employs 82,000 men and women here, over 400 different kinds of jobs, and we pay, on average, $45,000 a year with full benefits, and in many cases, the first and best pathway to the middle class. We not only provide jobs, but we work constantly on specialized training and education to make sure that our employees have the skills to thrive in this very dynamic economy. And I'm incredibly proud to say here in our great state of Nevada, thanks to our strong partnerships with many of the people here, we are now offering to all MGM Resorts employees, including those who live outside of the state, opportunities to pursue online degrees and certifications through Nevada schools free of charge for all credit hours. We have over 1,000 of our employees that are availing themselves to that as we speak. So I hope you can see why I want to be here, why I'm excited about the Institute and this symposium, because I've seen up close what businesses, communities, policy, education leaders can do if they put their mind to it, if we work together. Public-private partnership. It works. But too often, partisan politics and mutual distrust derail these efforts. But we can't afford that division any longer. I know that our employees and workers cannot. Technological change is accelerating. Global competition is fiercer than ever, and the demographics of the workforce are rapidly shifting. The future of work is being transformed at an incredibly rapid pace. The leaders in this room have the responsibility to recognize our collective role in these issues, and not only for our own employees, but I believe for the U.S. more broadly. MGM has expanded its role, addressing these workforce challenges now, so we can put people to work today and in the future by creating greater access to skills, providing leadership on economic policy and social issues. Yet we face, as you heard Chuck say, a paradox that we're here to discuss: how to more swiftly equip today's workforce for the jobs of tomorrow. And so many months ago, we got together and announced a comprehensive operational change to our company, a strategic review of everything that we do, and in many cases question why we do what we do. Just because we've been doing it for years doesn't make it current or relevant. And we came to the conclusion that we had to change our operating model to ensure that we have the framework, foundation for long-term growth to continue to provide superior guest service. And so as part of that strategy and thinking about the shifting workforce and the societal preferences that are changing and the need for new skills, we've come up with our Project 2020 plan. This was necessary and difficult, considering all the jobs that we had in this organization and what kind of structure would be successful in the future. And we've concluded that incremental change is not enough, fast enough, or important enough. We need to really rethink how we operate as an organization and what the customer of the next generation will be looking for. And we have to continue to deliver on the guest experience of our iconic brands. But from the beginning, we've been very transparent with our employees and our communities. We've said that we will work to reskill, reorganize, and make a better future for many of our employees, but regrettably also say thank you but goodbye to many others. And we are in that process right now, bringing our organization to the next generation. Much of this has already happened. We've been generous in voluntary retirement programs and other forms of severance, but we've been transparent throughout the process. These are difficult decisions, but ones I believe we need to make to be a stronger company and a leader in this hospitality industry. I've really believed for some time in my over 20 years here that it's the duty of MGM to lead and to take what we've learned, not across just Nevada, but around the United States. And I'm very engaged in the employee experience. That is literally the backbone of what we do. The majority of my employees are minorities, 63%. We focus deeply on diversity and inclusion in our organization and find ways to make everyone feel safe, secure, empowered. That's why I believe today's discussions are so important and why I'm so passionate about these discussions. Because I've seen the real-life benefits when MGM goes into communities, or MGM here in Nevada works with organizations to provide that work environment for our employees. What we're going to talk about today are not just conceptual ideas, not just theoretical concepts, but actionable ideas that we are using today and others can use. They have the power to transform lives, strengthen families, revitalize communities. I've seen it happen. We've helped it happen. There isn't a CEO that I know or anyone across America that does not want or should not be focused on these issues of employee engagement. We have the world's greatest human capital. We need to harness our workforce with the skill sets to tackle tomorrow. And I believe that progress is within our reach. And so now it's time to do it. Find those opportunities and new allies. It's really the only way to transform and find practical solutions for the current needs and future needs of our economy. The Institute and this symposium are meant to spark those type of discussions at a critical time in our nation's history. Thank you, and I look forward to being with you today.